The Mountain, Vanderaa, joins me once again, this time as he gets ready to fight for the RUF promotion March 14th when he meets Rich Hale. Jared, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Not bad. It's happy to have you back on the show, man. It's been a little while. You're coming off a big win, this time over Tony Lopez. It did go to a unanimous decision, so I got to imagine you're probably looking for the finish. Are you still pretty happy with your overall performance?
Yeah, no, the performance I thought was great. I did have a hard time once we go into the ground, really able to maintain position because I found myself and Tony just sliding across the mat. Every time when I would put pressure, we would move 2, 3 inches. I'm like, hey, this is kind of hard to hold someone down when we're sliding. And me and him both had moments where we were throwing and striking that we slipped off the canvas.
Hmm.
And once we hit the ground, we literally slid. I mean, I remember defending something and I slid. And, literally the mat made it very easy for both of us to maneuver on the ground in some ways. So I felt like because of that, I had a harder time going for a submission or something. But overall, I mean, we all know Tony Lopez is durable. So when I didn't knock him out or TKO him, I wasn't like, oh my goodness, what a shocker.
Now, did you talk to the owner of the promotion or someone after the fight or in the middle of the fight about the slipperiness of the canvas? Is that something that was addressed?
No, just because I mean it's a mat. I mean some mats work in favor of people, some not. I mean the mat's there, and I mean we both have the same advantages on the mat. So
Mhm. Okay, well, at the end of the day, you got the win, so that couldn't have affected you too much. Now, the last time I actually did speak with you, Jared, was right before you were you were ready to fight Renan Ferreira. You did lose that fight, unfortunately. Can you just tell us a little bit about what happened there? Is this just a scenario where you got caught, or is there something maybe more that went on in that fight?
uh I definitely felt like I got caught, but I mean it's not like he wasn't working his game plan, and he didn't. He had his moments, and so did I. But I felt like he was tiring out.
Mhm.
I took his biggest barrage and got up. Literally, like people were like, "Oh, we're out." No, I was still attacking. Got up, and I was expecting him to step back and not fall back from my trip. I was like, there's no way he's gonna fall for this. He fell for this, and I was not mentally prepared for him to do that. And so I had to quickly recover. But by the time I went to recover, I was locked up in a triangle, and we put in a lot of emphasis on his reach because I don't really fight a lot of people with arms like me, but we totally kind of spaced out on his like length of his legs, and at the end of the day, that's what was his best tool against me was, some of those calf kicks were landing very well. I wasn't opening my legs wide enough to defend him properly, and then catching that triangle.
Mhm.
I was like, I just didn't get it past it. And as I went to step over, my leg gave out and I fell to the triangle. I was like,
Is this a guy that you're hoping to get a rematch with? Is that something that we can see down the line?
yeah, I mean, I know that, he's from Brazil and stuff, so I'm not going to be like campaigning for it.
Mhm.
But if someone offered me it, like, hey, he's going to be down here April or May, you want to go against him again? I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, after watching the video, he definitely couldn't stay with my boxing. He dropped me because I didn't move properly forward. I had a wider base, and it wasn't that he dropped me out of sheer, oh, he was rocked. No, I was dropped because I was not moving properly and I slipped over myself
Mhm.
as I was coming in. So, I mean, it definitely looked good on him, and the punch was well timed. So, on him, that good punch. I was on the canvas. He was able to try to capitalize. I didn't let him. But if he comes up again, I definitely want to go another round because I don't think he can handle my hits. There's a few times it looked like I rocked him.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were able to get right back in the win column right after that fight. So congratulations on that. I do understand some more congratulations are in order. You just bought Team Quest Athletic Center and moved it to a new location. Am I right?
Yeah, I was working at Team Quest Athletic Center in San Jacinto. It's an off branch of Dan Henderson's and whatnot. And yeah, I just recently purchased it with the help of friends and stuff like that. Me and my girlfriend now own it. We're trying to get it up and running. Hopefully this week or next week. The city is being a pain in the where. They're making it very difficult for us right now. But once we get that rolling, I think it's going to be a lot easier. This part's the hard part, everyone says, because I know enough about how to run a gym. I've been in gyms for about 10 plus years now, so I know.
When do you expect to be up and running and having I guess a routine down pat for yourself?
Oh, literally, like hopefully this week or next. So, like, if I get cleared from the city to have something, I will
Very cool.
definitely be opening.
So how is this going to affect your training schedule? Are you going to be having guys and training partners coming over to you to work with you at your gym? Or are you still going to be going over at different locations and getting work in as well?
I'm going to try to do all that in the morning. I've actually eliminated all your 9, 10, and 11 o'clock classes that were in the older schedule. I eliminated all them because talking to the old owner, he was like, that's where he lost a lot of his money. He goes, I have this and I'm here for 3 extra hours, losing all my money. He goes, and then I've had, people that would go in the mornings just for an extra workout tell me that, it's more or less they would just go and socialize. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is a community behind it, but realistically, I'm still an active fighter and I have to make time for myself between being an owner and a fighter. I've made the mornings, which I've always had my mornings as my workout time. So I train 3 or 4 hours in the morning, and I eliminated the morning classes. To compensate for that, I'm opening up 5 a.m. and a 6 a.m. class. Yeah,
Wow.
so, and I'm actually having more positive feedback on that. So I'm spending more time thinking about opening up extra early because people got jobs. People have, kids they have to get ready to go to school. It's harder for them to make time 9, 10 o'clock when it's the middle of the day where, you come wake up and stuff, and you get those people that do intermittent fasting. Like, oh, I'm going to go get some rolls in, boom, and then I'm going to have breakfast, So I'm going to have a bunch of those people popping in. The police department, a lot of guys are excited because a lot of them, I'm working on getting showers, and once I get the showers operating, I know that's the place to be. So
That's very cool. Congratulations. I got to ask, how popular is the intermittent fasting in your area of California? Is that something that a lot of people are doing? And are they finding good benefits from that?
yeah, a lot of people are that I know personally from all research I've done. It's not because I technically do that when I'm not in camp. I intermittent fast because I usually just skip breakfast and wait till lunch around 1 o'clock, maybe even 2 o'clock, and then eat sometimes around 7 or 8. And that technically falls in the window, but I find myself actually putting on weight during that process. So when I want to lose weight, I actually eat 6 times a day.
I guess it just depends on who it is. I know everybody's bodies are different.
Yeah, no, it's just for me, it's not that well, I've seen other people like they swear up and down it's the greatest thing. So I'm like, all right, what works for you the best is what's gonna work for you. For me, eating 5 times a day works.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. You're a big guy. Having those 5 meals would make sense to keep that body going. Now, I did see a picture of you with a friend and training partner, Sam Alvey, just recently. He's got a big fight coming up against Khalil Roundtree. How's Sam looking?
Uh, like a redhead. I mean, Sam's looking like Sam. I mean, he's definitely improving in a lot of ways. I mean, he's also coming off of an injury. Because he was supposed to fight Shogun, and then someone broke his hand on their head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
no, he was trying to punch me in the forehead, and I broke his hand.
oh, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so if you ever look at our post with his broken hand, I will always comment on something like, "Who's the jackass that broke your hand?" It's me.
Oh wow. Well, I got to imagine you probably have a pretty hard noggin. Do you get a lot of work in with Sam? You guys must train
Oh
pretty
yeah,
frequently.
no, like we're primarily our massive training partners.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this fight with Roundtree. Due to the fact that I like my Muay Thai. Like I'm not as traditional as Roundtree,
Hmm.
but I definitely have a very heavy-handed Muay Thai style.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, this should be a really interesting fight. I mean, both Sam and Roundtree are very skilled fighters. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Tell me a little bit about how this particular camp has been for you. Your fight's only a couple of weeks away now. Are you feeling healthy and ready to get in there and put on a show?
Yeah, no, I feel really good. The only slight worrying is how high of elevation Flagstaff is. It's like 7,000 feet. This is equivalent to like Denver or like parts of New Mexico.
Yeah.
So I'm really pushing right now the cardio to make sure that I could easily handle those 3 rounds at a full pace for nonstop action. So a lot of focus on cardio.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, we're always focusing on the basics of, Muay Thai boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. So, I mean, I'm covering those bases, but I'm definitely, right now, I'm heavy cardio focused.
Now I know,
And
obviously. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm also cardio focused, helping me drop a few pounds too,
There you go. What are you weighing? What are you weighing in at right now?
like 275,
Okay.
70. Yeah, no.
You still got a couple pounds to cut then.
Yeah, no, and that's after a practice.
Yeah.
I think I'm waking up at like 280.
Okay. Well, you're a big guy, and that cut to get down to the heavyweight limit, you've got to be used to by now. So I'm sure you have still plenty of time left to make that weight.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, my fight with Tony Lopez was right before the holidays, so I was like, I'm gonna binge. So I enjoyed the holidays a little too much, um, and then right after, like, because I couldn't get a fight, my manager Jason realizing that it's a lot harder to find me a fight than he thought it was.
Mhm.
And just because I'm not an easy night out for anybody, so he realized that a lot of people will turn fights down against me. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I was just gonna say, you clearly are one of those guys that people have their eyes on, especially out on the western part of the country. I know you got to be focused first and foremost on your upcoming opponent, Rich. He's a veteran. He's got a lot of fights. But just tell me, where do you feel like your mindset is at right now as far as goals for 2020? We've talked about that before, and I know you've said in the past that you felt like you've been on that doorstep of signing with a big promotion. Where do you feel you are right now? What do you hope happens here soon?
well, this is I feel like the fight that's going to really kick open that door. Either if I win, it's going to open to either the Contender Series and Rich being a very well respected member from Bellator, I think might open the doors even wider if potentially Bellator might come knocking. So I'm I'm hoping this will open the doors. I know I signed with the Uranium, and Jason's been just an absolute magician on like leading me the right direction. Because we were talking, he goes, Jared, I think we need a fight with a decent name, with a decent record, or you're gonna have to fight a lot more to get, to that next level. And then I literally called him like, hey, what do I need to do to get these fights? Maybe like an hour later, I got hit up from the promotion like, hey, we got this guy. Sent it to Jason. Jason was like, yes.
That is awesome. Where do you hold the biggest advantages at with Rich? Do you feel like you're just going to hold a big strength advantage and you could TKO him, KO him on the feet? Where do you feel you're going to shine here in this fight?
Actually, we don't know. Just because we can't get any video on his last fight. But, I mean, I assume even if we watch his last fight in and out, that we should always expect big changes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what more to do? He's going to either punch me or kick me, then he's going to wrestle me, and then he's going to do jiu-jitsu. So there's in ground and pound. So I just gotta get good at all areas and not worry about the rest. I mean, there's one of those areas that are going to be weaker than mine and vice versa. Maybe his boxing is better than mine. But what if my Muay Thai and wrestling is better than his boxing?
Mm-hmm.
This is MMA for a reason. There's enough variables in ways to beat someone that you can't be one-sided heavy.
What do you envision happening in this fight? I'm sure you must, when you close your eyes at night and you picture yourself with this fight, you must see it finishing a certain way. What do you think happens, or what do you hope to achieve here for a victory?
So I'm a pessimist at heart. Okay, so every time when I have optimal visions, or when I close my eyes and see optimal results, I lose. Like with Hennen, I saw me knocking him out. The whole camp got triangled. Then when I was fighting Tony Lopez, I felt all I saw was him knocking me out or submitting me. I won.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say all the fights I've won, the moment I started thinking, like, I do better with negative reinforcement. So the moments I start seeing, I usually see myself getting knocked out, submitted. And I don't know if it heightens my sense of caution and, hey, you got to move more, you got to do this more to protect yourself, to avoid, these potentially damaging hits. That's what I usually envision. I don't envision me going in there just flying knee, boom. I envision myself getting knocked out or getting choked, or like, I'm just like, okay.
I'm sure at the end of the day, you want to get in there and get the win, obviously. So just envision yourself getting choked out or knocked out, and you'll go in and win. That's just the way it's going to work, right?
Yeah, like I said, negative reinforcement is the best thing for me. I do not do well with this positive. People are like, yeah, you could do it. I'm like, hey, I don't need that positivity in my life. What was it like? I have Joe Daddy Stevenson's one of my coaches. The dude is just a glimmering ray of hope and sunshine. So is Sam. I'm just like, hey, you guys need to tone down the positivity here. It's like, stop being all happy and go lucky. I mean, we all joke around, but they're way too positive for me. I'm just like, I might turn up the Hasselnodge just a little bit, just for me. Like, tell me I suck or something. I'll get it done.
Jared, I think you're going to have a hard time finding people to want to insult you or be negative with a man of your size. But hey, to each their own. Maybe you'll find a couple of knuckleheads out there that want to insult you and try to bring you down. I'm not going to be one of them, so I'll stay away. What I will say is thank you as always for the time, my friend. I look forward to seeing you step back in the cage and notch another win. I don't know if you have tickets on hand that you're still looking to sell for the event, but if there's anything you want to plug or any social media you have, as always, the floor is yours.
You can always follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Jared Vanderaa. And if you were curious in seeing how the gym's going, Team Quest AC, you could follow those. Thank you guys all. Thank you for having me again. Love being on the show. And, have a good day, everyone.